There were some headlines over the weekend that seem to suggest you no longer identify as being Nigerian. Of course, you were born in this country, you spent your childhood in Nigeria. Were those headlines accurately reflecting what you were saying? What's your sort of status in terms of how you identify British, Nigerian, all the rest of it?
Well, I think that the BBC certainly wrote that headline. It wasn't quite what I said, but it is true. My main identity is as British. That is what I see myself as. Nigeria is a nationality. It's not an ethnicity. There's no such language as Nigerian. There are lots of different ethnic groups there. And I think that as a politician in this country, we need to be very focused on what is happening here, not what's happening elsewhere. And every day, I see loads of Labour MPs in particular talking about every other country except the UK. If you come to this country, you need to be very focused on making sure that you integrate. And if you're a politician, you need to be 100% focused on British issues. And that's basically what I was saying.
Kemi Badenoch, you cannot be more British than the British people. You cannot be whiter than a white man. Let me tell you something. I do not care if you associate with Nigerians, if you claim to be a Nigerian. I don't even care. It has no significance whatsoever to Nigeria's economy. It has no significance whatsoever to anything. So stop it. If you want to trend, you will mention Nigeria. Do your campaigns, do whatever you want to do without mentioning Nigeria's name. We don't also want you as a Nigerian. Remain British. Even the British people don't even want you. When I saw the post, her comment section was horrendous. Everybody is saying, you want to come as Prime Minister of the UK to fight immigration while you are an immigrant yourself. Make it make sense to me. You are fighting your origin. Because of what? To become a British? Is it possible for you to be more British than a British person? What exactly is your point? What if you like associate with Nigerians, so if you like don't associate? That is your business. Please keep it to yourself. If you don't associate with Nigerians, stop mentioning Nigeria as a whole. Want to come in and fight immigration so bad, and you are an immigrant yourself. Please take a chill pill, go and rest, go and sleep. Let's see if you actually become a British Prime Minister. Let us see if you can.
I wasn't just the swot in the class. I was the person who would say that person is copying notes from the other person. I was the tattletale in the class, like getting people into trouble. Because even then I hated cheating, because there I was. I wanted to be first in the class, and I've done all the work. And then there's some people who are copying notes and saying, why should they get away with it? And so I'd raise up my hand. I remember there was this extraordinary day. I was in, I must have been about 14 or 15. And I said, he's cheating. I stood up in the middle of the exam, and I stood up and said, he's cheating. He's the one that's doing it. And that boy ended up getting expelled. And I didn't get praised for it. And I was a relatively popular kid at school. And he said, why did you do that? Why would you do that? And I said, because he was doing the wrong thing. And someone said, you don't belong here. That you don't know how to behave, you don't belong here. And I've heard that all my life. You don't follow the rules, you don't do what you're supposed to, you're always sticking your head above the parapet, you're too direct, you tell the truth when you don't need to tell the truth, when you should pipe down. And I didn't belong there.
Hang on a second. So you're 14 years old, and in the middle of an exam...
14, 15.
14 or 15, you see a boy cheating in the middle of an exam, in the middle of an exam hall, you stand up, and you snitch on this kid who's cheating, who ends up getting expelled.
Yes.
No wonder you're so unpopular back at school. You sound really annoying.
I was. Do you know what? The people who did that sort of thing hated it, but someone did say to me...
It was the right thing to do.
Yeah, that you were the only person who'd ever have the guts to do that.
Did you know that Kemi Badenoch, this same Kemi Badenoch, begged Nigerians to support her? She practically begged them that she wants to promote Nigeria's heritage in the UK. She wants to carry Nigeria in her head, help Nigerians to come to the UK. She practically begged them to support her before. Now she's against Nigeria. I'm going to post the article. You can pause it and read. Listen to this. Newly surfaced campaign material shows that in 2010, Kemi Badenoch, then known as Kemi Adegoke, made a heartfelt appeal to the Nigerian community in the UK, urging them to rally behind her bid for a seat in the UK Parliament. In the document, she emphasized her Yoruba heritage. She condemned negative stereotypes about Nigerians. Now, what are you doing, Kemi? These politicians, believe them at your own risk. They will say whatever they want to say to get whatever they want to get. Now, she pleaded with Nigerians in 2010. They supported her. She gained what she wanted to gain. Now, she needs the support of the British people to become a prime minister. You are forgetting that if your own people does not even like you in a particular place, how are you going to succeed? Do you think that the British people will support you more than their own? Now, everything about Nigeria is trash to you. Everything about Nigeria is prison. But you are forgetting what you said in the past, practically begging the Nigerian community in the UK to support you.
Kemi Badenoch played the game, but now the game is playing on her. Because what's unfolding isn't just a media backlash. It's a classic case of what happens when you try to play both sides of identity politics. For years, Kemi has used her Nigerian background to score points. To say, look at me, I came from Nigeria and I made it without special treatment. She's used Nigeria as a political reference, even in debate that had nothing to do with her heritage. But now, the headlines are turning against her. She's suddenly distancing herself. Suddenly, the focus should be on British issues. Don't take my word for it. Yeah, I say it.
Well, I think that the BBC certainly wrote that headline. It wasn't quite what I said, but it is true. My main identity is as British. That is what I see myself as. Nigeria is a nationality. It's not an ethnicity. There's no such language as Nigerian. There are lots of different ethnic groups there. And I think that as a politician in this country, we need to be very focused on what is happening here, not what's happening elsewhere. And every day, I see loads of Labour MPs in particular talking about every other country except the UK. If you come to this country, you need to be very focused on making sure that you integrate. And if you're a politician, you need to be 100% focused on British issues. And that's basically what I was saying.
Suddenly, the tone has changed. Now, the moment might just be a media crack. But if Kemi and her party are not careful, it could become a defining crack, one that widens the gap between immigrants and the conservative agenda they are trying to sell. Kemi is saying, my identity is British. Let's talk about British issues. And here is where it gets tricky. She seems to be sending mixed messages. First, she says, there is no such thing as national identity. Then shortly after, she proudly states, I am British. That is how I identify. But when the conversation turns to Nigeria, our country of origin, she doesn't talk about identity anymore. Instead, she focuses on ethnicity, culture, and background. So here's the question. Is national identity something that doesn't really exist? Or is it something that matters when it reminds her of her African roots? She's drawing a line between being British as an identity and being Nigerian as ethnicity. But let's remind her, Nigeria is a sovereign nation with shared history, culture, and millions of people who identify with it as their country. So reducing it to just ethnicity alone ignores the reality of national identity. And of course, that's the beginning of a problem. And make no mistake, this isn't just bad PR, this is bad politics. Because when you attack or distance yourself from your own people just to gain approval from a certain demographic, what you're doing is shrinking your own base, not expanding it. Other immigrants are watching this play out, and they are wondering, if Kemi can't stand for us, why should we stand for our party? The truth is, Kemi is facing the consequences of political doublespeak, of trying to please an audience that was never going to accept her fully, and no matter how many times she waved the Union Jack. Because in politics, when your credibility cracks, everything else follows. It's a truth at a time. Take care and have a nice day.
As much as some people are going around and saying, oh, let's leave this woman, let her choose any nationality that she wants. Yes, she's entitled to any nationality that she wants, but not in a way that should be involving Nigerians and even into debates that has nothing to do with Nigerians should mention Nigeria. And you can see in one of those videos that there was a time where she was begging Nigerians for votes, where she was begging us that, okay, she will promote her culture as Nigerians, she will do this, she will do that. These politics people, these politicians, you can see, you can go back and read the article. where she wrote everything she would be doing. Okay, when one should become this, she'll do this, she'll do that, she will make sure she elevates her culture and everything. So why is it that now she's now going back on those words? Or did she forget that Nigeria still has the right to vote for her? Because now we Nigerians are not accepting her. And the British people, if you read some comments under the videos, if you're familiar with TikTok, you will see that most British are not even, if you check those comments, most British people are not even taking it as their own. You are trying to push away Nigerian that would have given you full support for people that will not even fully accept you, no matter what. They cannot fully accept you. Either you like it or not, they will know that you are Nigerian. Some will even say, oh, someone in Nigerian trying to fix our country, and those people did not accept her. And then she go about, I'm saying it again. In the next few months, she'll still come back and say something that will be related. Why is it that she always feels relevant anytime she drags Nigerian name to her name? Or is it me that I'm just overreacting? Or we that are saying this, are we just overreacting? You guys can drop your opinion in the comment section. Please do well to follow, like, and share for more videos. And also keep your notification on in case of we drop any new videos and all that. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that we are just overreacting, or Kemi Badenoch is overdoing it? Did you guys think so? Drop your opinion.